Hi everybody. Today I am doing a multi-part series of how to make ocean/aquarium beads, and I have several videos on making different prepped stringers for these beads, and then I also have the actual bead video separated into sections for hopefully easier reference for you later if you only want to review a certain section of that bead. So hopefully that'll help you guys out, and it won't make the video hugely long, which it would be. This actually took me a couple of hours to do. So the first stringer I'm making, it's a stringer slash marini, is the Barnacle or like tube worm stringer. And that it starts out with a base of clear, which I'm prepping right here. I'm just making it slightly bigger than my 8mm rod. So it might be about 10mm around, and I'm making a nice barrel shape so that when you put the colors on top, they will be even all the way across. You want to try to get your barrel fairly even thickness across. And this is only about a 1/2 to 3/4 inch long piece of clear there. And I'm going to be encasing it with an off-white. It's not ivory. I'm not really sure what color it is. It's like a stone color. It's similar to ivory, but it doesn't have the effects of ivory. And if you really want to know what that is, I'll try to find it and let you know. But you can use white. You can use ivory. It really doesn't matter what color you use, but you want a lighter color. And this one I'm actually making with purples, but a lot of times I just use white base here, and then I stripe with a medium to light gray, and then I'll put stripes in the center of those gray stripes that are black. And that's like the standard Barnacle colors I use. But in this case, I'm using this off-white, and I'm going to put lighter purple stripes along it. And then on top of those light purple stripes, I'm going to put darker purple stripes. So you want basically 3 colors and you're clear. And so there's the encased clear. And you still want to keep it a barrel shape so you get nice even stripings across. That's the whole point of making the barrel. So your design is consistent throughout when you pull out your stringer at the end. So this is I think it's light violet, opaque color, of course. It's a feutre. And I'm just going to stripe this on. I don't want really thick stripes. I'm trying to pull them down a little skinnier. And I'm going to make like about 5 or 6 stripes around, leaving the off-white exposed between them. So you have 5 stripes around. And you can have more stripes if you want. If you want to make these skinnier, that's fine. And I'm just trying to put a little extra glass to even out the thickness of the stripe across the whole thing. Trying to even that out. Now I just want to melt those down. And I really you want to have that lighter color exposed underneath. So you can also put little thin stripes or stringer of the light base color, and that would help it from from the purple in this case spreading out and covering too much of that base, because you do want it kind of even of the base color and the striped color around. And I think the purple in this case kind of bled out, and so my little off-white is very, very thin there. So I think I'm going to stripe these up a little bit more. But now I have my darker purple. This is actually a transparent purple that's encased over like a regular violet. It might be this same violet I'm using, but it has a dark transparent purple over that in a stringer form. So I'm just applying that darker stripe in the center of each of those lighter purple stripes, right down the center. And you want this smaller because you want it to go, you know, you want the dark to be seen, but then you also want the light to be seen. So you don't want to totally cover up the lighter stripes underneath. And so now I'm going back with that stone color, and I'm going to put thin stripes along the center there. See, now you can see I'm stretching it out so that they're thinner. I don't want to cover too much of that lighter purple, but I do want more of that background color seen. So if I would have done this in the first place, when I first put down those purple stripes, the lighter purple stripes, I wouldn't have to go back and do it now. But either way, whatever gets you to the final result is always good. And so I just want some more of that background color viewed. And I had a little bit of that white actually stick to the purple, so I wanted to separate it there. And so now you just have to melt all this down. And after this is all melted, we can punty up with another rod on the other end, and we could pull it out into a stringer or marini size, which I usually pull these out to about 4 millimeters thick, 4 to 5 millimeters thick. And you can use them in cane form, in a stick form, or you can actually cut them into little marini pieces. So it's whatever your preference is. So I'm trying to even out those stripes there and pulling off the excess on the ends that actually ball up a little bit. So that's all I'm doing there. And then I'm going to just melt all this down. Just melting away. And the next video that's coming up after this one will be making the seaweed stringer. But it also is a tutorial on how to encase adventurine. And of course I'm using green adventurine for seaweed, but you can use it for other colors, other adventurine colors too, like goldstone or the blue. So now I have this pretty much melted down, and you can see that the background or stone color is more dominant now. You can actually see those stripes, and that's what you want. You want to be able to see the stripes in that color. And now I'm actually putting on one more stripe of really dark blue, and this is because my darker purple wasn't really dark enough. Now this is not a necessary step. You really don't have to do this if you have a good difference between your lighter color and darker color, but I just really didn't have a good separation of the two colors. So I added this dark blue to really make a separate darker stripe in the center. But this part is really not necessary. As long as your background lighter color, which a lot of times, like I said, I use gray, and then your smaller center stripe has enough difference between the two. And usually I do it light gray and then a dark black stripe. And you could see that in the mermaid bead picture, which was at the beginning, and it's also at the end of this video. That's like the normal kind I make. So here's the center. You can see the center is still transparent in there. And I got those stripes on the front. You could see the dark stripe and then the lighter color. And now I sped this video up here, so you wouldn't have to sit there and watch me trying to melt all this down. But what you want to do is you want to have enough extra glass on the sides so that it reaches out all the way to the ends of your color, so that you're pulling like the whole section instead of just pulling from the center. And so see how it's tapered down? So it tapers down from the actual outside of those stripes down to the rod form. And I'm doing the same on the other side, and this would be the same way you would pull out a Marini. You want to pull all the way from the edges to the center. So you want all the mass to pull out at the same time, because if you're just pulling from the center, you're going to pull out the center and it's going to stretch the outside edges separately, and it's going to distort your images. And so now I'm just heating the whole mass, and I'm getting it soft enough to pull, and I will slow down in a second when I'm ready to pull. And you could see me pull this out, and I pull very slowly. Okay, so now I'm real time. I slowed it down, and I'm pulling very slowly because I want a thicker stringer here, or Marini cane. So I want it like 4 millimeters thick or so. And you can have it varied if you want smaller and bigger. You could pull out different thicknesses if you want a varied cane. That's fine too. So then you can have a variety of sizes. But this is all about 4 millimeter, maybe 3.5 millimeter. And so there's the final cane. And you could kind of see the stripes there. They look really nice. And I think I'll try to get a close-up of the center section, which is right here. It's kind of blurry because I'm so zoomed in, but you could see it's transparent there in the center with the stripes on the outside. And that's it for this prep work video. Thanks for watching.